How are you doing, disciples? This is Warfare Messiah, back with another War Thunder video. Now, today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. Normally I do a battle report episode of War Thunder, or you know, just a little setup thing. But I've decided to do a premium tank review, and I've got quite a few other premium aircraft and tanks. So you can leave it in the comments if you'd like us to do some more, but I'm going to start with the British heavy tank, the Black Prince. Now, the first thing you'll notice about it is it's slow as all balls. And these Russians and that American are quite eager to get past me, because they don't want to get stuck behind this thing, because it would not win a race, is basically what I'm trying to say here. It's very slow. But, surprisingly, it does traverse quite well. So, it is slow, but if you need to turn the hull of the tank around, it does that quite easily over terrain. That's due to its wide tracks, despite the fact it being extremely heavy. Now, as you'll see later, it does have one payoff for being really slow, and that is that it's completely indestructible from front on, essentially. So, we're arriving at the battle now. So we'll be able to see its combat performance. So I'm just going to get this position on the corner. You don't want things where you're fleeing around and trying to get loads of different positions. I just critted that Panzer IV. Easy kill. He's been up-tiered, the poor guy, so I'll put him out of his misery. There we go. And you don't want to be fleeing around in this tank, because that just won't work. You need to find yourself a position or a narrow street where you can take the hits and dish some back. So you need to get yourself some medium tank support, really, to protect your flanks, or else this tank doesn't do too well. And I said it's indestructible. As you can see, I just took an 88 shot there, but you do still need angle. Angling makes it even more indestructible. So that's from front on. If medium tanks get around the side or the rear, they can do some serious damage. But for a heavy tank, its turret traverse is quite fast. So it's much better than things like the Tiger tank, which is it's equal at this level basically. Well, I don't think it's equal. The Tiger has a better gun, but this thing has much better armor. If it came to a one-on-one, I think the Black Prince would beat the Tiger, but sometimes you'll probably get more kills than a Tiger because of its gun. That brings me on to the Black Prince's gun. The 17-pounder, which is the same as the gun on the Sherman Firefly, the Centurion Mark 1, the Achilles. It hasn't... The British just threw this gun on everything, because it was the gun that could blow up German tanks. So don't fix what ain't broke, but in the game it can be a bit underpowered. Now this gun actually has quite high penetration, so don't get me wrong, you're not gonna bounce many shots. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're gonna pen everything, you will bounce shots, but it doesn't do a lot of damage once you do get through, because it doesn't have explosive filler. And it's one of the only guns at the level that doesn't have explosive filler, because all the British guns at this level are 17-pounders, pretty much. So as you can see, I've just taken quite a few nasty hits from 88s, 85s, and the only thing I haven't taken too much damage until this Tiger 2P with the up-powered 88 hits me in my one weak spot at the front. The machine gun port. That and the King Tiger's gun is the most powerful on this battlefield. So the Black Prince's one weakness is its gun. But its gun does have one good thing. It fires quickly, because it's a lower caliber gun than other things at the level. So you can have like 2-3 shells off in the time that King Tiger's gun that just blew me up can fire one. So that is a big payoff for it. Now this is where I spend 10 minutes driving back to the battlefield. So you won't get too many kills in this thing, but you'll get a lot of assists because you'll get a lot of critical hits. You'll get a lot of hits, and because of the lack of explosive filler, which is a theme across the British tech tree, you'll get a lot of assists. But that'll make you money. That'll make you money, and this, as every other premium tank will make you lots more money. So I'm still going towards the battle. As you can see, not exactly Speedy Gonzales. How Black Prince? Yep, so just plodding along. You will spend a lot of your battle doing this. But once you're there, you're there. You can't get out of a situation in this tank. Once you get yourself into a situation, you're in it. If it's a good situation, then brilliant, you want to stay in it. But if it's a bad situation, there's no escaping it, so this is me just trying to get some extra XP and being sweaty by getting an aircraft kill with a coaxial machine gun. So, IS-2 just hit us from front on, no biggie. Despite the IS-2's massive gun, this thing, I have told you, is absolutely indestructible if you angle it right from front on. So, I'm just going to move forward and see what I can see. There's some shell shots going. So our team has taken the momentum. We've taken the zone now, so I don't want to go back to the position I had before. I want to advance to stop the enemy taking the zone, because I'm some heavy armor. So you need to hold ground with this machine. So I could tell that shot was a scary shot, and I could tell it came from a Tiger's 88. So I just need to find that Tiger, and there he is. I've taken a few hits I didn't want to take, but because I'm angled, the only thing that's damaged is my gun. So all I need to do is withdraw, repair the gun, and that didn't work because my gun was damaged, but I just wanted to give him a bit of suppression. So I think I've withdrawn significantly enough, and as you can see, I've angled the armor in accordance to the King Tiger, so I'm just repairing, seeing what I can do. But my muzzle's been blasted off. My muzzle brake. So 3 seconds left. And now I'm back in the action. I can pull forward and help this allied King Tiger. Excuse me. Now, I think the one major tank the Black Prince struggles to beat is the King Tiger, because it can't pen its frontal hull at all. It can only pen the turret. And that wouldn't be such a problem if it had explosive filler. But if you can shoot at the turret all you want and you can take out everyone in the turret, if you cannot then take out people in the hull or just hit the ammo rack, it's not going to blow up. So you have to hit it from side on or in the turret. So I'm not saying it's impossible to kill them by shooting at the turret only. I'm just saying it's unlikely. Look, I hit the turret and I even ricocheted there, but I think I got a funny angle on the gun, on the King Tiger's gun. So I move forward. And then I notice a Tiger in the background who has no idea what's going on, so I hit his gun breech. Move forward again. I'm kind of playing chicken, not with this King Tiger. He's just been blown up by an allied King Tiger. So now I can focus my attention on the Tiger E. So I'm going to try and aim for the side of his hull. So I got his assistant driver there, and machine gunner. So now I've just got to try and hit the side of the hull dead center to take him out. But as you can see, if this gun was something like the Russian 85, this Tiger would be dead by now, because the 17-pounder just doesn't quite cut it at this level always. But I'm not going to completely slag it off. Its fast rate of fire is a real helping factor, and it can penetrate quite a canny bit of armor. So I think that sums up this game. Basically, we just drive to the enemy base and then they run out of vehicles. So I'll stop blabbering on and we'll take this thing back to the hangar and have a look at a few of its statistics. Alright, okay, so let's find a Black Prince. Here it is. Top tanks. Here we go, here's the big girl. So let's have a look at a few of its statistics to see if it's worth you guys spending your money on. So I'm going to give you my opinions on whether it's worth spending your money on. So let's just have a look at the armor first of all. From side on, it's got 95mm of armor, which is still pretty strong armor. This is very strong armor actually, especially for a tank side on. So people will be able to pen you from side on. That's gonna happen. But they might not get you in one shot, is my point. They might, but they might not, because this is some pretty strong armor side on for heavy tanks. Mostly they can, I mean, tanks like the Panther, for example, which we all know is a very durable tank, only has 50mm of armor side on. This is almost double. So we're starting to learn why it's so slow. At the rear, 51mm. This tank has more armor at the rear than the Sherman has at the front. So by 1mm, like, so it doesn't really make a difference, but you get me picture. Now the turret armor is much thicker, 101mm on the rear of the turret. So it's actually it's really well protected all around. Hang on a second. The rear of its turret is tougher than the side of its turret. That doesn't make much sense. Other than this here. Anyway, let's have a look at the front. Let's have a look at the front of the turret. So the front of the turret is 152mm thick, plus this extra 50mm at the bottom. So most tanks have a weakness right at the bottom of the turret, between the turret and the hull. But this tank has like a 50mm metal strip that protects that part of the tank. So you're not really going to be able to kill this tank if you aim at the bottom of the turret like you would be able to if you were aiming at a Tiger tank or an IS-1. So that's a good factor about it. And it says 50mm here, but you've got to take into account there's then also the 152mm under this 50, so pretty powerful. And then even just at the side of the mantlet there's 152 as well, so the whole mantlet's 152 plus this 50, which essentially makes this, the bottom part of this turret, 205mm thick, so an extremely thick armor. So this is 152 as well, so that's very thick actually. If you want a comparison, the Tiger 1 has 110mm of frontal armor. This has 152. Now this bit only has 57mm of frontal armor, which you might think is very weak, but if you look, this bit is completely sloped. So you will, if someone hits you here, you will always bounce the shots. Because if you look at the effective thickness, is saying 150, 157, if I move it a bit, 155. So it's pretty much the same as the 152 that's here in terms of thickness. So the lower glacis is slightly weaker at 139mm, but it's still very thick. So really durable tank front on, bearing in mind that normally the most powerful gun you'll come up against, because premium tanks get preferential matchmaking, is the 88 on the King Tiger and the 88 on the Tiger 1 as well. By the way, those are two different guns. The 88 on the King Tiger is a up powered version, the higher velocity version than the 88mm flat gun. I don't know how they managed to make a gun more powerful than that, but they have. So if I was to think of a comparison to sort of help you out, the 17 pounder that's on this tank, like what was used on the Sherman Firefly, couldn't be fitted onto the Comet because it was too big. So the British had to make a condensed version of the 17 pounder. So the 17 pounder on the Comet is a slightly less powerful version than the 17 pounder on the Firefly. So it's a bit like that. So we've had a look at a bit of the armour. So let's have a look at inside the tank. Now, I think this is shown as if you were carrying all your shells. I never carry all my shells, and I suggest you guys do the same, because if you think about it, you're never going to need all your shells, are you? Well, not likely in any way, and if you do, you can always just drive back to base, and if it's just an extra ammo rack, if you take shells out, they won't get hit in any way. There's an ammo rack here. There's ammo racks all the way along the side of the tank, so if you aim the bottom of the hull, you'll get through 95mm of armor, most likely at the if you're going against 6.0s, and you hit these. So just remember where they are. You'll take this tank out, and there's ones right at the front as well. So if you've got a shell powerful enough, say if someone was aiming for your track, because let's face it, everyone reduces to trying to track your enemy when you kind of pin the front of their armor. It might go straight through the track, through the cogwheel, and destroy that ammo. The tank can actually be blown up that way. I have been blown up that way once or twice. So just be mindful. I think if you take your shells out, these ones come out first. Now, most tanks will have like a ring of shells in the turret or just below the turret. This tank has just this little cluster, and I mean, if this little cluster gets hit, you're going to blow up. But the fact it's smaller than everything else, than all the other little clusters, means that it's less likely to get hit because it's a smaller target. So that's my point. Now, as you saw in the game, this machine gun here loses loads of armor. So on all that red, you'll see this is the one green spot. 5mm of armor. And I know it's a tiny little target. 10mm of armor here. 5mm of armor. Ridiculously small. So if you aim for this gun here, and you manage to hit it, you'll get straight through. And if you look, the loader's sitting right behind it, and you might take away the only strength of this tank, one of the only strengths of this gun, which is the fast reload rate. So the gunner and commander are on one side as per usual. Now 5-man crew as per usual as well. So you've got the driver, then you've got the assistant driver here behind the machine gun. I suggest, if you've got a gun that can pen the front of this tank, I suggest you aim for the driver, obviously, if you want to immobilise him. But if you aim for this machine gunner, the shell might go straight through and hit this ammo rack. So you might get it in one, you never know. So you could give it a whirl. Now, despite me pointing out all the weaknesses of this tank, it is very, very durable. Don't think that it isn't. Don't underestimate it. A lot of people do because it has a 17-pounder, but this is a very tough tank. So if the British had only sloped its armour, it would be indestructible. So that's it. That's basically all there is to it. So I don't know about wherever you guys live, but in the UK, which is where I'm from, the Black Prince is £40 on the store. So I got it when it was reduced. I got it half price for £20. So when like events come on or sales, which they do come on, you might want to wait to get it. I think if you really want to get the Black Prince, wait for one of those, because I think it's a brilliant tank, I really do, but I wouldn't have paid £40 for it. £20 is a reasonable price, so I paid £20, so that is good. So I've shown you all that I can about the Black Prince. It's up to you whether you decide you want to spend your hard-earned money on it. So this is Warfare Messiah, thanks for watching.